I know a lot of people say resist not evil. A lot of times you're going through so much and stuff like that, and in order to inherit a blessing, you have to go into a dangerous area and stuff. But remember God. Remember God. Remember Jesus as well. Jesus had no place to stay. He had nothing. I mean, because he was in the ministry, he's ministering the word, he's preaching the word of God. The only thing he really had was faith in the word of God and stuff like that. I'm doing this to warn people not to become a part of the wrong thing. Don't become a part of the wrong thing, because your participation in the wrong thing can bring about a lot of heartache and a lot of trouble for you. Um, I know a lot of you guys think that cultic life isn't present probably in your communities, isn't present probably in your area. It's not openly done, but it's a private practice, and these private practices do have effects on you daily private practice of satanic worship, of just giving into the wrong things spiritually and emotionally and stuff like that. I remember watching an Exodus where I remember watching an exorcism. The guy that does exorcism, he was talking about how they wanted lawlessness. The demonic spirits, they didn't want laws. There were laws present, but they didn't want to abide by the laws. They didn't want laws. They didn't want rules. They didn't want structures. They just wanted to do whatever they want to do. And especially in this day and time, it is so vivid that we tend to say, oh, we're not going to do what everybody else wants us to do. We're not going to do this. We're not going to do that and stuff like that. And then we find ourselves in an enslavement position, where we're bound and stuff like that, where we're kind of bound, but we're being forced to participate in certain things that we don't want participation in, certain acts that, and these acts are not for God but against God and stuff like that, because of lawlessness, no structures, no rules, no nothing, and everybody's being okay with the behavior of not having order or not having structure. You guys have to remember that they wanted lawlessness to keep control. I remember going on a job, and I used to always remember this. Can you excel in chaos and stuff like that? And although there are people that can, and they're biblical people, they're righteous people, and there are people that can that isn't righteous. The question is, how do you excel in chaos if you are a person of order? Because remind you, you're about order, so everything that you're about has a rule, a law to it, a structure to it. Everything they're about don't have a law, it does not have a rule, it does not have a structure to it. The small tricks in which they play, oh, we're speaking in reverse, so you give in to that temptation of speaking in reverse. God word is direct, it may be coded, but it's direct. um don't allow people to speak to you in indirectly. You get what I'm saying? Like, they'll say, well, no means yes and yes mean no. The word of God say, let your no mean no and your yes mean yes. If you're reading the new NIV version. But if you're reading the regular Bible, it says no, nothing more than no, let's no and what is it, yay yay, and no and yay yay is of evil. So you have to be really careful with a lot of different things, because people sit up there and say, okay, if I tell you not to go, that means to go. If I tell you to go, that means to not go. And it's speaking in reverse. But I'm going to tell you how your enemy used these weapons against you. Okay, you may say, no, I don't want that to take place. Okay, when you say no, you don't want that to take place, presently where you're at, it's not taking place. But in other realms, it is. So you have to be careful what you're allowing these people to do. Let your no be no. Let your yes be yes. Let your speech be direct as possible. Do not try to use the reverse form of something to get a response, because this is a tactic in which they're using, saying, okay, well, we're using this in warfare. But be careful of that, because you may see yourself winning when you're actually losing. These people use so many different tactics against our people. I remember there were times when I was in the courtroom and I guaranteed a win. And it's like my eyes just like blanked or shift. I don't know what it was. And I was told I lost. And it was like a shock. What is this? Or whatever the case may be. And this is something that can happen with your reverse speaking, with your reverse talking, and stuff like that. Another thing is, people are talking to you one way. All these people aren't on the same accord with you, but they may be of your people. They may be for your people. They may be for you. But you're talking one way and they're talking a different way. So they're not in your group. They're separated from you. They're not in the group of people that you're in, but these are people that's for you, who now you're sitting up there, because if they didn't understand what was talked about wherever secret place you were at, you sit up there and you sabotage them. These people weren't against you, but you sabotage them for no reason at all. And you sabotage people that were allies for you, that had the respect for you, that honored and respect you, that was there on occasions that you didn't even know that you had honor and victory, that witnessed some of these things and stuff like that. And now you're being taken back because of certain things that's being taught to you, or certain things that are being presented to you, and these people are taking offense to it, because they're like, okay, why would you do that? Why would you say this? Why would you say that? Oh, well, you're not doing what all of us do. And even though you have been briefed on it, I didn't do it because it's against the word of God for me. I didn't do it because your ways are offensive to me. Because I'm trying to live the word of God and you're trying to live something different. I'm already halfway messed up. They hit me with everything agent. And when I sit up there and I talk about people actually doing bodily harm and attacks issue, and I tell people, I always say, like, they hit you with everything agent. When I say they hit you with everything agent, this means you got hit with the paralyzing agent, the truth agent. You got hit with everything agent, which means you went through it. You went through the storm, the rain, the hurricanes, tornadoes came. You was just going through it, tore down the house, tore down you, and everything else, and stuff like that. So when you're speaking, you going through mental issues because they done hit you with the sleeping agent. They done hit you with something to make you crazy and paralyzed. They done hit you with something to sit up there and make you depressed. Not antidepressant. They hit you with a depressant. They don't hit you with pretty much everything agent to try to get you out of where you need to be. So when I tell people, when you're talking to people, be as direct as possible, especially with the word of God. Remember this. They say don't resist evil, resist it. Fight it as much as you can. Sometimes you're not going to be able to fight everything. I remember I walked into a lab to get a drug test done. And as I'm getting the drug test done, I always sign my name and I write a note why I sign my name next to it. The woman was like, I can't accept that. I'm like, ma'am, I sign my name with a note next to it why I sign my name, and I do that every time. It's for me to remember that it's me. I don't want any problems later on, because I know how I signed. I know why I signed like that. I know the purpose. I know the motive. it will re-jog my memory back to when I signed. Well, I can't accept it. I'm like, why can't you accept this? It shouldn't even be an issue. It has a note connected to it as to the purpose and the call for which it is signed. I'm sitting up here, I'm looking on your screen, this says this and stuff. Well, I can't accept that. I, you know, and dealing with those type of people, they're very hostile because it's very rare that I do it. So I just went on and signed my regular name for the drug test. I just signed my regular name. But I recalled mentally, this is the only thing that I signed my name for. I got a copy of it. I have to sit up there and file it with my paperwork for my entity just to make sure that I keep up on this type of stuff. Remember, electronically, these people will trap you, even in a courtroom. Don't trust none of that. When they sit up there and tell you to sign your name, say I'm signing for a court date. I'm not signing no for you to get my estate. I'm not signing any of that stuff for you to have what's mine. I'm not signing none of that stuff. Only thing I'm signing is for a court date. I'm signing for this. Remember to write that memo like as if you're signing for a check. Write that memo, and I know you guys heard this before. I remember even hearing it before. So make sure that if you didn't hear it before, you're hearing it now. Make sure you sign and make sure you put that note next to it. I signed for employment purposes. I signed for the job. I signed, or whatever. And it'll bring back memories as to when you signed. Oh, this is fraudulent. Don't just sign your signature. Always make sure you have that note next to it, because these people are working in evil. They're here to steal, kill, and destroy. And when I say kill, they'll use biotech. They'll use food. They'll use any weapon against you to kill you off. They don't care. Your body laying still, they pumping all that garbage down your throat. Poison, sitting up there, they'll pump grease down your throat, and you sitting up there and you in a coma, and they're pumping grease and all kinds of filth down your throat, stuff that they feed pigs that got worms and maggots and stuff in it. That stuff they pump down your throat. You ain't got tapeworms for no reason. Sometimes it ain't even from the fish that you ate out the canals or the rivers in which you were fishing. This is stuff that's coming from your enemy who don't even really have a motive of hating you. They don't even know why they hate you. Start asking them questions like, well, why you hate that person? What they did to you? Nothing. What you got to prove against that person? Nothing. And this is when you really supposed to get ticked off mad. When you see somebody picking with somebody and they say some little stuff, oh, she told me I stink. Did you? I probably did. Well, if you stink, what your problem is? You know what to do to sit up there and fix the problem. I had times when my odor wasn't as fresh and cleansing as it should be. It wasn't what it's supposed to be. Everybody goes through that. That's nothing new. I'm happy you told me I can fix some of this stuff. I can probably fix. If you're telling me, hey, your water on at your house because you ain't smelling too fresh, thank you for letting me know. I can go to the water where I can go buy some water, just water, and get me right. Might have to go to mama house or sister house, brother house, somebody's house, and freshen up. It's nothing to be ashamed of. But these are stuff that make them attack you. Be direct in your approach. Be direct in your speech. Be direct in what you say. Be careful what you say. Limit what you say. If you don't have to talk, don't talk at all. The less you have to talk to people, the better it is. Even Jesus sat up there and they would come and they would ask him questions and, quiz him and stuff like that. And he would take the time out to just sit there and be silent. And then respond. Slow to speak. Quick to listen, slow to speak. Think about what you're saying. You don't have to rush and give them an answer. Take your time. They can talk to you personally and you just sit there quiet. They be trying to rush an answer out of you. Just sit there quiet as you possibly can. Just hold your tongue as long as you can. If they sit up there and start thinking you crazy or something wrong with you, don't even worry about it. If it take you 10 minutes delay to actually respond to them, don't worry about it. That 10-minute delay is whatever. You take that time for you. Don't let them rush your response out of you. If you go through that state of confusion where you feel a little bit out of it, don't respond at all. Because these people are evil people. They don't care how they can sit up there and inherit a lie. They don't care how they can sit up there and steal and say, oh, well, you gave it to me. So what you have to do, you have to take that time, that moment, and just sit there and be quiet. See, because we were taught a certain way, and you were taught that way by your enemy. You were not taught that way by God. You need to be quick to respond to people. No, you don't. You don't have to be quick to respond to them. Take your time and respond to them. Let me get back to you. I'm doing something right now. You could be sitting there doing nothing. I'm doing something right now. What are you doing? I'm thinking. Be slow to speak. Quick to listen. Don't respond to them. You get on your job. Don't respond to them. Them the same people that'll come and attack you. Them the same people. If they're not the ones attacking you, those are the same people. They're going to use voices. Those are the same people. They're going to use image against you. They're going to use your family image. They're going to use so many people that love you image against you. Their tone, their voices and stuff like that. And some of it's not using them against you, because some of those people are involved in that. Remind you, these are cultic behavior, secret behaviors that are cultic. So you have to be careful, be direct in your speech, be careful, slow to speak. Let them ask you questions. They be sitting up there for a whole hour waiting on a response until they walk off. If you don't answer, usually when you don't answer a person like about 5-10 minutes, or like in their time frame that they want you to answer, they just walk off and they say you're disrespectful. Oh well. Oh well. Don't even worry about it. Because what was disrespectful for you to come up in my face and try to deceive me? You didn't find that disrespectful. I don't find me not responding to you disrespectful. Be direct in your speaking and your dealings with people. Be direct. If you're not for them, just be direct with it. I'm sorry, I can't do that. Why can't you? I'm sorry, I'm not for you. I don't know what it is. My spirit ain't mixing well with you. I can't do that for you. But be careful. Because I will tell you, you can burn a bridge today and need that same bridge tomorrow. They came to you for help this time. You may have to come to them for help next time. That Jacob ladder is a trick. Your blessing can be turned all the way around and you become something totally different. So remember to be clear in your dealings with people. So even if I can honestly tell you, I have had people do all kinds of manner of evil against me, and I still have to come back and bless. I know what you're saying. Why do you have to bless them? Do you really want to bless them? Nope. Do you want to do anything for them? Nope. And you don't have to. You don't have to. People, God, I'm not going to sit up there and tell you, you have to bless them. I'm tired of that mess. You don't have to. You do not have to. But be careful because it may not have been them that injured you. It may not have been them that hurt you. But you don't want to open up the door for more hurt. So if you help them, be careful in your helping of them, because they will burn you again. That was just them using that person to lure you in, the good, using the good to lure you in, and then it turns sour and it turns bad again. That's to lure you in. You ever had I don't know if you guys ever dated before. You had somebody abusive in your relationship. They're abusive to you, and then the next 5 minutes they send up there, they trying to do all kinds of nice stuff to you, and then they go right back to the abuse. This is the same cycle, because it's a cycle of hurt and abuse. So you have to sit up there and you have to cut off that hurt and abuse. And how you do it is this: I don't mind helping you, but that's it. But a lot of times people are going to draw you into their foolishness. They're going to draw you into their trouble. They're going to draw you into their problems. And it's their problems for a reason. Because when you're going through your problems, a lot of times you can't even find help. If God won't sit up there and help you and send out angels to help you, you won't get help. If He don't put it on somebody's heart to bless you, you will be worse than the dogs in the streets. And the same people that close the door to you are the same people that's coming asking for help. So I'm going to tell you now, be careful in your dealings with people. Be careful what you're doing in the cycle. Even if you got to help one of the people that was a part of the abuse cycle in that cycle. Because I'm going to tell you something. You may have to help them, but that don't mean we besties. That don't mean we friends. And if I choose not to give that which is righteous to you, because I feel like every action that I do is righteous, I'm not going to give it to the dogs or get somebody that's hurting me, then I'm not wrong in that. So people, be careful. Use discernment. Use wisdom. Do not allow them abuse cycles to come back in, because when that abuse cycle come back in, it's not going to let you go as easy. They're going to have an even stronger hold or even longer time. That's why you got to even be careful in you helping them. Because they're going to do it for a longer time. They don't care. That's why they try to put the blinders on, because they know certain stuff the Word of God don't even agree with. Because the Word of God say you don't supposed to give that which is righteous to the dog. You don't give that which is righteous to people that's abusing you, that don't care for the Word of God, don't care for you. You don't give that which God has blessed you with to them. So be careful. And be direct in your speech.